Alright, so let's get booking another show. We'll try and get the next Dynamite and Dark done, so that way we are up to Fight for the Fallen for our next stream. So we'll be ready to go. So Shiba's gone, so he's now signing exclusively to New Japan, which is a good get for them. We weren't going to use him, so that's a good get for him. And the rest is all good. So we've lost Shima, but in the end, really no loss. We had not even used him yet, and I don't think we were planning on doing it. WWE had their Extreme Rules pay-per-view. It wasn't a horror show, but it was Extreme Rules. Let's have a look. Brock Lesnar was on the card. Well, there you go. Lesnar decided to show up. They had an 82 rated show, with the main event being Braun Strowman beating Reigns, Cena on the card too, and Kevin Owens for the Universal title in a fatal 4-way. Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt teamed up for some reason. That'd be gotta say, The Fiend and Brock Lesnar teaming up together, who the hell would ever beat them? They beat Styles and Daniel Bryan in a 91 rated match. Styles was the worst wrestler in the match. Can you believe that? I cannot. That is hard to believe. Bray Wyatt has 80 pop. Lesnar's got 90 obviously, so Lesnar was the star of the match. Well, there you go. Seth Rollins beat Aleister Black in an 86 rated match. Wow. Considering Rollins had 84 and Black had 70, that's a really good match. And not much else. God, there's a lot of stuff on this show. There's a lot of matches. That's pretty much it though. Jeff Hardy beat Sheamus, so that's right. They, instead of doing it Extreme Rules in real life, they did it on SmackDown, but here we're doing it on Extreme Rules. MVP beat Samoa Joe. Oh my god. MVP. I like MVP, but beating Samoa Joe? Well, he is the US champion. There you go. Not a bad show. I mean, they got 35,000 fans to show up, so Vince doesn't care about the COVID. 1.5 million people watched it on the network. Alright, let's take a look at the results for this week's AEW Dark. Opened the show with Orange Cassidy beating Jimmy Havoc for 57, Cassidy 58, Jimmy Havoc 49. Not bad from both guys, actually pretty good. So we advanced the best friends in Super Bad Discord. So Jimmy Havoc is back. He served a few weeks suspension. He's back, and 57 for his first match back is pretty good. Matt Hardy is backstage trying to convince Ricky Starks not to join up with Shawn Spears and Tully Blanchard, saying that, look, they're bad news. Don't go with those guys. You're better off, staying clear, going in a different path. But I don't think Ricky Starks is all that interested in what Matt Hardy is trying to say. So 51 for that segment. Ali cuts a promo on Sheeta for 36 as well, advancing that storyline. We had an Abaddon vignette hyping her up in her upcoming appearances, so she won't be on this show, but we're going to try and push her a little bit more in the future, get her more in action, get her featured a little bit more. Anna Jay was on this show instead with Diamante, and Diamante, she's back, officially a part of the roster now. She's already had a couple matches before, so we didn't feel the need to give her a big debut match or anything like that, but she picks up the win over Anna Jay for 24. 8-minute match, Anna Jay 23, Diamante 33, and her gimmick was given a rating of great. So the Cuban Badass gimmick, very good. So both women don't have enough popularity for the crowd to really be that invested in, unfortunately. But look, nonetheless, that's good, and gives her a large boost to microphone skills during angles. Her new gimmick, so that's good. That's good news. Anna Jay, well, look, she's in a bit of a bad run. She's losing every match. She's lost 5 in a row. So it's time for the Dark Order to swoop in and offer their support to Anna Jay, and she has accepted. So Anna Jay joins the Dark Order. I liked it when they teased it in real life. I thought that was a good idea, and I'm still going to go with it here. Anna Jay doesn't have much going on, so joining up with the Dark Order will give her a little bit of purpose and some support that she needs, I feel, to help get her over. So 39 for that segment. And Sabatino, Tino Sabatelli is now known as Sabatino here in AEW. Not Sabby, we're going to go with Sabatino. I prefer that name. makes his first appearance. He talks about how he's going to dominate AEW. And he debuts the ex-footballer gimmick. It's been given a rating of adequate, so not too bad. Not too bad at all. A small penalty to psychology and penalized if he's going to have a comedy gimmick. If he loses to a comedy gimmick, rather. So that's fine. 35 for his first segment. Not a great promo, Sabatino, but nonetheless, I still feel as though he's got a bit of potential. He's on a handshake deal, so if he doesn't do any well, then we can get rid of him. But we'll see how he goes. Our main event was Adam Page and Shawn Spears for 56. Adam Page 69, Spears 42. And we advanced the Matt Hardy and Spears storyline with Matt Hardy on commentary. So Adam Page picked up the win, of course, and a 56 rated match is pretty good. It gives us a 42 rated show. We used Shawn Spears a little bit too much. Okay. We had a good opener and a good main event, but the stuff in the middle not as strong, but I'll take that, that's fine. Let's take a look at this week's AEW Dynamite, the go-home show for Fight For The Fallen. Luther and Colt Cabana on the pre-show. Luther 18, Colt Cabana 56. Yeah, Luther sucks. Luckily for us, Luther, his contract is about to expire, and we don't have to deal with him much longer. We opened up the show officially, and I should have done this a long time ago. Jon Moxley cuts a promo on Brian Cage for 86. Well, I've been trying to have Cage and Taz do the promos. Moxley's been doing Japan, he's been unavailable. Now, straight up Moxley promo, and he kills it. 86, that is what we've been needing for a long time to get this storyline some heat. Thank goodness. The Sex Gods took on the Superbad Death Squad for 64. Sammy Guevara 63, Chris Jericho 75, Jimmy Havoc 54, Kip Sabian 46, and we had Orange Cassidy interrupt that match and distract Jimmy Havoc to cost him the match, and the Sex Gods get the win. So we advance the Superbad Death Squad and the Best Friends feud, and we get the Sex Gods an important win. Post-match, Chris Jericho calls out Kenny Omega about how he's left Adam Page all alone for their upcoming pay-per-view match with the Sex Gods versus Hangman. Adam Page, basically a handicap match for the tag titles. 86 rated, so Jericho kills it again. Fantastic as well. Brian Pillman Jr. makes his debut, and he's in a TNT Championship match with the man himself, Cody. 8-minute match. Cody defends the championship in a 72 rated match. That is awesome. Cody 82, Pillman Jr. 39. Good stuff. Pillman's got no pop. To get 39 is very good signs. And his gimmick was given a very good rating as well. So all around thumbs up. Everything good with that one. Post-match, it was Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix with the attack on both Cody and Pillman Jr. So a 58 rated segment for that one. So we might be going with a little bit of probably a short-term pairing with Brian Pillman Jr. and Cody. I think Cody might be Pillman Jr.'s mentor for a while. Obviously they had the family legacy thing in common, so we might go with that for a little bit and probably do a tag match with the Lucha Bros versus Cody and Pillman Jr. Then we did a big contract signing with a lot of guys in this one, but it was FTR and the Young Bucks with Angelico and Jack Evans and Private Party all talking about their upcoming matches at the pay-per-view for 53. So, not too bad of a segment. I probably should have had everyone scripted. I think I forgot to do that. So, nonetheless, 53 for that segment. So, we did lose a bit of heat, unfortunately. Ricky Starks had a stinker with Michael Nakazawa. We tried to do the Steal the Show because obviously we have to have a Steal the Show match every single show. I didn't know what match to put it on, so I just chucked it on this one. It obviously did not work. But, Ricky Starks, we gave him a win. He needed the win. Tully Blanchard helped Starks get the win, so we're kind of playing off that a little bit as well, having Spears and Tully helping out Ricky a little bit to try and convince him that he is, they are the right option for him, despite the fact that Matt Hardy is trying to convince him otherwise. So 14 for that one. a terrible segment. Now, remember how DDP screwed us over? Well, Jake Roberts wasn't happy about it. He called out DDP and said if he ever shows his face in AEW again, Lance Archer will destroy him. So we had to address it. We had to talk about it. We made Lance Archer look like a beast as well by talking about how he's going to kick DDP's ass. You know, and if anyone has anything to say about it, well, you know, they got to answer to Lance Archer. So we addressed it, and now we can move on with it. But DDP, don't you show your face in AEW again. Luchasaurus took on Stu Grayson for 51. Grayson, 28. Not good. Luchasaurus, though, 63 is pretty good. And they have great chemistry, so I wouldn't want to see how well Stu Grayson performed without great chemistry. It probably would be low 20s, which is a bit of a yikes. Luchasaurus, though, was really good. So a 51 rated match, which is good. It was a wild brawl, so maybe Grayson wasn't suited to the wild brawl. We had our women out there in a 6-woman tag. Allie and Bad Reputation took on Statlander, Sheeta, and Big Swole. Allie 35, Priscilla 42, Bea Priestley 31, Big Swole 26. Sheeta was the best of the match for 50, Statlander 42 as well. So we advanced both storylines. We gained heat on both storylines, surprisingly, which was good. Sheeta and Big Swole were both off their games, with Allie picking up the win. She pinned Big Swole to pick up the win. Now, to be fair, Allie, she's not really getting it done in the ring at the moment. Her performances are pretty lackluster, so this might be a bit of a short-term push for her. Once she's done with this Sheeta match, I think we might transition her over to doing something else again, because I thought she'd be good in the ring, but she's just not translating at all in the matches. Wardlow took on Scorpio Sky and picked up the win. MJF helped Wardlow just distract Scorpio a little bit. Wardlow 44, Scorpio 51. Ivelisse makes her debut, and she has been given great for the hustler gimmick, so she's going to try and do whatever it takes to get herself to the top in the division. 36 promo, not bad actually. So it'll give her a small boost to microphone skills during Angles, her new gimmick, which is good to see. So a good start for both Diamante and Ivelisse. They're both their gimmicks have been good. Pillman Jr. had a good debut. Sabatino's debut gimmick wasn't as great, but that's fine. So our 4 new debutantes all looking pretty good. Breathing some fresh light into, some fresh air into the division. Our main event was Brian Cage and Jungle Boy. We took a risk. You know, we weren't really sure who to give Brian Cage as an opponent. We thought, you know what, Jungle Boy's had some good matches in the past. Let's give him this chance. Unfortunately, he was off his game, really off his game. Cage, though, still able to carry him to a 61 overall match with his 63 performance. So, in the end, still a solid match, not as good as we would have hoped. And in post-match, we had Moxley and Cage with a stare down. So 58 for that one, advancing that storyline. So it looks as though anytime we have Brian Cage involved in this angle, it's not really getting the heat that we'd like. I think Moxley's doing his part, but Cage just hasn't got the popularity yet to really perform that well. So nonetheless, it is a 65 overall show, which is a good one. It's probably one of our better ones for a while. So I liked what we had. We had 2 really good promos. We had a great Cody match, and we had some decent stuff in the middle. So I'm pretty happy with that overall result. So 65 for our go-home show for Fight For Fallen. Okay, let's take a look at how NXT fared. They had a 1.57 million viewership, 2.110 TV rating. How did our rating go? 1.16, so 876,000. Definitely one of our strongest ratings, I think, to date. I don't know if it is our best, but it would have to be pretty close, I would say. So we definitely did better than last week. We did 873,000 a couple of weeks ago when we had a 66 rated show, which was slightly less than what we did this week. So as it stands, it looks as though that was our best rating to date, which is great. So that's what you want to see. You want to have a good rating heading into your big pay-per-view. So this will be our second pay-per-view of the stream, of the series. So Tessa's now gone, so she's now a free agent. So we'll be seeing where she goes. Obviously great stats, so it'll be interesting to see who picks her up. Maybe even we'll pick her up, I don't know. We'll have to think about it. Let's take a look and see if we had any popularity changes heading into the pay-per-view. So nothing for Paige. Ali's still at 26, so not great. You know, look, Ali, you just think with those stats, you get a little bit more out of her. Maybe more on the mic is where she needs to be rather than in the ring. Her popularity, it has improved back to 26, so that's a good sign. Bea Priestley's got 19 pop now, so she's gone up from 18, which is good. Big Swole's got 18. She has been going down, so I mean she's been losing every match, I think. Oh no, 6 win. Oh, that's including Shimmer as well. So she'd probably lost every Dynamite match. Brian Cage 48 still, so unfortunately we haven't been able to get him going. So obviously, apparently he's on steroids or some type of drugs, so that's why he's angry at DDP. So anyone that was involved in actual drugs is pissed off at DDP. Pillman Jr., so he had 26 pop in the Southeast to start, so he did have a little bit there. It actually went down, apparently, so he went down in popularity. Can you believe that? Well, here's some big news. Chris Jericho is actually gaining popularity. Can you believe it? He's gained 1 popularity in the Southeast and a couple in some of the other areas. So Jericho's popularity is improving. Well, I can't believe that. We've actually managed to increase one of our main event guys' popularity. Being Chris Jericho is amazing. So that is huge news for us. We haven't had the same luck with Cody though, despite the fact he's had some killer matches. His match rating average is 69. His last 4 have all been really good, and that's including Ricky Starks and Pillman in those. Sammy Guevara has had the pleasure of standing next to Chris Jericho whilst he's cutting those amazing promos. So he's gone from 44 to 46. So before you know it, Sammy Guevara will definitely be 50 plus pop, just thanks to Chris Jericho. We probably need to have Santana and Ortiz there a little bit more with them as well to help get them over. Storyline heat heading into the pay-per-view. Ali and Sheeta's got 40, which is actually pretty good considering. 41 for Priestley and Statland. That's probably better than I expected as well. Best Friends and the Death Squad got 64 thanks to a couple of good segments. Cody and Phoenix 63, which is solid. Dark Order and Jurassic Express 53 is pretty good as well, actually. FTR and the Young Bucks, their other opponent matches 57 heat, so that's alright. Hopefully they have some great matches at the pay-per-view to boost that up, so we have some good heat heading into All Out. The Sex Gods and Omega and Page have 80 heat. Unfortunately, it has to be a handicap match, which is going to really suck, but it could be a big match. Could be still good. MJF SCU's got 57. Moxley and Cage have managed to get it to 60. If we do another Moxley promo on the pay-per-view before their match, we might be able to get that a little bit higher, maybe mid-60s if we're lucky. And Matt Hardy and Spears is pretty cold at the moment, 50. I don't even know if I'd put that on the pay-per-view. If I need more matches, then I will. At the moment, we're certainly in the red for our finance, so we're still going to lose money, which is not going to be great. We're losing a fair bit of money. I mean, we should be back in business, though, at the end of August when we have our fans come back in the ring. So when we have September onwards, we should be back in the green, but I don't know how long Tony Khan's going to be happy losing 600 grand a month. Probably not very, so we'll see. If you are watching on the YouTube, thank you so much for watching once again, and make sure you do leave a like and subscribe to see more episodes coming away in the very near future.